The hidden truth behind Arsenal's signing of Aaron Ramsdale. Over the summer transfer window, Arsenal signed young England international goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale. But why exactly did Arsenal choose this keeper? And what is the secret behind the scenes about this transfer? Is Bernd Leno on his way to Inter Milan? And what about the long-term future of Granit Xhaka? Let's find out in the latest Arsenal news today. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Babs14 and welcome back to your boys channel. The support that you guys are showing on the channel is immense, so let's keep it going by smashing a like on the video and subscribing to the channel if you are new, because we are on the road to 60k and we are so close. But getting into the Arsenal news today and starting off with Aaron Ramsdale. He signed for Arsenal in the summer transfer window for 25 Great British million pounds, and it was a signing that a lot of Arsenal fans at the time just could not understand. Why did Arsenal want to pay that sort of money for Aaron Ramsdale? Was it Mikel Arteta or was it Edu Gaspar? And who pursued this transfer? Well, today The Athletic have reported in a latest article where they claim that Edu and his team advocated for a cheaper alternative to Aaron Ramsdale, which included Barcelona's Neto. In the end, Arteta's conviction in Ramsdale is what won out, and the clubs met in the middle. If a collaborative process drew up the list of targets, it seems as if it was Arteta's single-mindedness that drove through the deals that he wanted most. So Edu Gaspar wasn't really sold on Ramsdale's price tag, hence why he advocated Neto from Barcelona instead to Mikel Arteta. And while Arteta eventually got his way, the most interesting thing about Neto is the fact that he is a Kia Jorbajan client. Now, as Arsenal fans know about this Donny, he was the agent of Willian and David Luiz and Cedric Suarez, and he has seen plenty of his clients come to Arsenal over the past few years. The fact that Edu once again turned to Kia Jorbajan for Neto, for me, is pretty worrying and not very convincing. But ultimately, it was Mikel Arteta who won out and got Aaron Ramsdale. And in terms of Mikel Arteta, the fact that he was so persistent in signing Aaron Ramsdale, he has to be now Arteta's guy. And if that is the case, Mikel, you've now got to back him on the pitch. If you think that Ramsdale is that guy, pal, you play him on the pitch and you show the Arsenal fans, this is why I signed this player and brought him to the Emirates Stadium. Because Arsenal are certainly not in the position to have a £25 million goalkeeper sitting on the bench like a backup dancer. And here is a graphic that shows goalkeepers aged 23 and under with the most league minutes since the start of 1920, and as you can see, Aaron Ramsdale sits top of minutes played over the likes of Gianluigi Donnarumma, Unai Simon and even Albert Lafont. As shown by the graphic, he is a very experienced goalkeeper for a player of his age. And if we are to compare him to Arsenal's current number one in Bernd Leno, while there are some concerns about Ramsdale's overall goalkeeping ability, there is clear reasons to believe that Ramsdale is a better keeper when it comes to playing off the back and using his feet. And one can only believe that is the main reason why Arteta was so persistent in signing Aaron Ramsdale. If it came down to you guys, who are you starting over Ramsdale and Leno against Norwich in our next game? Keeping it on Bernd Leno, Tuttosport in Italy claimed that Inter Milan have made Bernd Leno an option to replace 37-year-old Samir Handanovic. Now, come the end of the season, Bernd Leno's only going to have 1 year left on his Arsenal contract, and thus far so, he's yet to indicate to Arsenal that he's going to sign a brand new contract. With that being the case, I am starting to become convinced that this is Bernd Leno's final year at Arsenal Football Club. And so going to a club the stature of Inter Milan certainly does make sense. And also, if Inter were to sign Leno, what about a certain Andre Onana? Now, this is a keeper who's going to stay at Ajax for the year, but he's not going to sign a brand new contract, and come the end of the season, he's going to be a free agent. Now, if Inter were to get their hands on Leno, that would leave Onana as a free and available option. I'm not going to say that Arsenal are going to sign Andre Onana, but when it comes to the transfer window and transfers, you can never say never. The Athletic have also reported that Arsenal accept they have paid a premium for English pair Ben White and Aaron Ramsdale. In both instances, it was Arteta who urged the club to complete the deals. They believe, however, English premium works both ways when they come to leave Arsenal. So essentially, once again, Mikel Arteta has got his way by getting both players. But in terms of Arsenal, they understand with the new Brexit rules, they will have a lot of resale value on both Ramsdale and Ben White if things don't work out. And so ultimately, Arsenal have taken a calculated risk in signing both players. But in terms of Mikel Arteta, the fact that he's once again got his players only puts more pressure on his shoulders to deliver on the pitch. The Athletic have also reported the additions of Lokonga and Nuno Tavares, meanwhile, have been heavily influenced by Edu's scouting department. Arteta even went so far as to thank the recruitment team for pointing him in Tavares' direction. It is, for the most part, a very collaborative process. Anyone can see from a mile away both Tavares and Lukonga were scouted signings. First things first, it dispels them if the Arsenal don't have any sort of scouts, and in terms of Sambi specifically, I think we have a gem there, and for a price tag of £15 million, we have a bargain in my opinion. The Athletic also add on, the indications this summer are that Arteta has ultimately wielded the most influence. While White and Tomiyasu were both approved by all departments, it was Arteta's testimony that convinced the hierarchy to proceed with the deals. So Takehiro Tomiyasu is another player Arteta was desperate to sign, alongside Ben White and Aaron Ramsdale, also pushed by Mikel Arteta. That there and there is also spending around £90 million on players that Arteta wanted to sign. And so quite clearly Mikel Arteta has a lot of power behind the scenes, as quite often he seems to be getting his way in terms of transfers that he wants to make, and one can only presume now, will Arsenal really want to sack a manager they have backed so much financially in the transfer market and invested so much money into his stocks? And for most of the part, this is now fully a Mikel Arteta squad with his signings. But what do you guys make of Arteta's signings and the power he seems to have behind the scenes? And are you happy with Tomiyasu, Ben White and Aaron Ramsdale being pushed by the Arsenal manager? In terms of me, I'm going to have to wait and see, and only time will tell. Moving on, let's discuss the future of Mohamed Elneny. Is this a player that is going to leave Arsenal Football Club, with the Turkish transfer window still open as things stand? Well, according to a report in Turkey today, over the last few days, Besiktas had started official negotiations with Arsenal to sign Elneny, but failed to find an agreement and instead signed Barcelona's Milan on loan instead. So with Pjanic going to Besiktas, that puts an end to any potential transfer of Mohamed Elneny, and it looks like he's going to stay at Arsenal Football Club as long as there are any other Turkish clubs that want to sign the player. Now, the fact that Arsenal have let go of Lucas Torreira and Matteo Guendouzi, both central midfielders, I think Arsenal wants to keep Elneny just for the squad depth alone. But need I remind you guys, this is also a player that is going to leave on a free next summer, because as things stand, he's in his final year of his Arsenal contract. But what do you guys think of Mohamed Elneny, and are you happy that he's now staying at Arsenal Football Club? Marca via Sport Witness say that Hector Bellerin gave up a large part of his salary to join Real Betis. This means the player may have it in his power to make his stay at the club last longer than a year. For me, Hector Bellerin's Arsenal career as things stand is completely over. The fact that he was so desperate to leave Arsenal that he took a massive pay cut shows to me exactly how much he didn't want to be here and wanted a brand new and fresh challenge. In terms of Arsenal, they failed to negotiate any sort of buy option or obligation to buy, but then saying that if Bellerin is to have a decent season in La Liga with Real Betis, even though he will only have 1 year left on his Arsenal contract, Arsenal will have the ability to negotiate a better price potentially as long as the player has a decent season. And all I can really say is best of luck at Real Betis, Hector Bellerin. Jose Mourinho has commented on Granit Xhaka's latest Instagram post encouraging the Arsenal midfielder to get vaccinated against COVID-19, simply saying get the jab, Granit, and be safe. So Jose Mourinho once again into the comments of Granit Xhaka, make of it what you will. But in terms of the player himself, I still think his long-term future at Arsenal is still pretty uncertain. Yes, I understand that he's just signed a new contract with Arsenal, but then at the same time it was only a 1 year contract extension with the option for 2. I could still see Arsenal letting go of Granit Xhaka at the end of the season and him leaving Arsenal Football Club. And if you really then want, he can then go join up with a manager that keeps on twerking for his ass in Jose Mourinho. And on that, the Athletic have also reported a central midfielder and centre forward will figure prominently on Arsenal's agenda in the transfer windows to come. The fact that Arsenal still want to sign a brand new central midfielder, I think the likes of Bruno Guimaraes and Yves Bissouma could still be Arsenal potential transfer targets. But in terms of that centre forward, I've heard names like Dominic Calvert-Lewin and co, but I have got my eyes set on a certain Swedish international centre forward, a demon in my eyes. I'm talking Alexander Isak. Arsenal have shown this year they have money to spend, so next summer for me, it is time to throw the bag on Alexander Isak, and in my humble opinion, he needs to be Arsenal's #1 transfer target. But then again, this is next year's Transfers FC, and that is where we're going to leave it. Okay, then moving on to the other Arsenal news today, and starting off with Albert Sambi Lokonga, as we give a massive congratulations to Sambi now is a full-time Belgian international midfielder. At just 21 years of age, this, my friends, is no mean feat. At the same age, he was also captain of a massive Belgian club like Anderlecht. Once again is a positive sign of not only a great potential player, but also a potential leader. The fact that even Martin Odegaard is captain of his country at 22, a lot of the time our fans question where are the so-called Arsenal leaders. Signing young captains like Martin Odegaard and Albert Sambi Lokonga for me is a step in the right direction. Arsene Wenger and Arsenal's poor start to the season. Today the club is in good shape. They have had 2 tough games against Chelsea and Manchester City. The team has potential and I hope they can come back. Okay, then I think Father Arsene also sees the so-called Arsenal vision. Arsene Wenger himself has never come to a single Arsenal game post his last ever game as Arsenal manager against Burnley, and that is simply because he doesn't want to put any sort of pressure on the current Arsenal manager. Wenger on the possibility of returning to Arsenal in some capacity. I am 71. I have given the club the best of my years. At the moment, I am just a fan. A fan of Arsenal, a fan of our gargantuan club, and a massive part of the history of Arsenal Football Club. Arsene Wenger seems to have ruled out the possibility of returning to Arsenal Football Club. But as Arsenal fans, we know Arsene very well, and I'm just saying, if Arsenal were to give an offer to Arsene or a call to Arsene, I don't think he'd say no. But personally, I don't think Arsenal will do that. Let the past remain the past. But I'm gonna ask you guys a completely hypothetical question. If Arsenal were to sack Mikel Arteta, would you guys take back Arsene Wenger for the season? Just a completely hypothetical question. Let's have a discussion down below in the comments. But that is the video there and there. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. If you want to follow your boy on them social medias, the links will be down below in the description. But that was the latest Arsenal news today. The international break is in full effect. I understand it's boring, but thank you for watching my videos and I will see you guys soon in a bit.